Hey everyone, it's Norm Farrar. Unfortunately, I don't have my buddy Tim Jordan. He is away today, but I have a really great topic that I think everybody's going to like. So once again, this is Norm Farrar from Private Label Legion, and welcome to Legion Live. All right, one of the things people talk to me about all the time is about multitasking. How do you get a lot done during the day? How do you optimize your day? I've got a few things on the go. As you know, Tim's got a bunch of things on the go, and just wanted to provide some insight on how we handle our day, how we multitask. And while we're doing this, I'm also going to be sharing a bunch of different apps that you can explore yourself to see which one works the best for you. So let's start. Let's start at the beginning, which is the night before. Usually before anything happens, I spend 20 minutes or so each night planning my day to go forward. So I'll go and look at my schedule and plan my first at 8:30 in the morning. I'll usually just go through emails. I'll just go through the main emails. Then I'll plan my priority task. What is bothering me? What has to get done? What is red hot? And what I call red hot is important and urgent or important. If there's anything like that and I have to get it done, it's time sensitive, a dated event, then I try to work on that. So once I plot that, I'll either move on to my B or C tasks. Now, I want to be clear. B tasks are just simple tasks that are not really that urgent. They're probably not that important. They're just regular tasks that have to be done. C tasks are all those little nuisance tasks that you can do a ton of all at once. And that's what I really like doing. Is I can clear up in a matter of a half hour or an hour, maybe 20 of these tasks and just get them off my plate. But here's the catch. I only do that about once or twice a week. And most of the time it's only once a week. And usually it's on Friday. Just, it's late in the day. I'll get some stuff done out of the way. And it just kind of gives you that fresh feel when you go into the next week, because you could get all these pesky little tasks off your out of the way. All right, so that's really the easiest way to explain what I'm doing. And every night around 20 minutes before, I'll go and do that. I'll also spend a few minutes, it could be 10 minutes or it could be 20 minutes, just acknowledging people. If they did a good job, or if you want to thank them, it could be a supplier that gave you, some really great service. It could be a VA, it could be anything at all, but just a quick couple of emails that's sent out. Now, I learned that actually watching 60 Minutes, I think, and they were talking about George Bush Sr. And every day before he goes, or every night before he goes to bed, that's what he does. And I have adopted that into my schedule every day. Now, what's important? And so once you get everything planned, is you can see it on your calendar. I like to color code things on my calendar. I know if I'm just checking my email, it's purple. If I've got a call, it is yellow. If I've got a task that has to be done, it's kind of a reddish, pinkish kind of color, which is a priority A. If I have a podcast, it's orange. All of these things are all color coded. We have 7 different colors just so I can look at it at a glance. Some people go beyond this. And not only do they color code, but they'll mark down every activity. So, if they're walking their dog, great. If they're standing up for 5 minutes or 10 minutes to take a break, they mark it down. I don't go that crazy, but I will take a break. I'll see it coming up and, maybe go for a walk or maybe do whatever. But that's for my calendar. Now, some of the things that you should do to help just kind of clear the clutter. One of the most distracting things are all the communication channels that are coming in. So how do you get away from these communication channels? And that's turn everything off. There's an app out there called freedom.io. Or if you're using Gmail, you can pause your inbox for an hour or for 2 or for the full day. The other thing that I like using is there was called Phrase. Meet Phrase, but I use a new program called Rambox, Rambox, and it's Rambox Pro. very inexpensive. And what this does is it centralizes all of your communication throughout the day into one funnel. So you don't have to turn on WhatsApp, WeChat, Facebook, Skype, Telegram, iMessenger. I mean, it's a nightmare to go in and check all these messages. I'm sure all of you understand that, everything that's coming in is driving you crazy. And that's if you're not using Slack or any other type of communication channels. So by putting them all into one, including all of your social media messages, you can have it in one funnel. Now, what I do during the day with this, and if you have a VA, this is great. If you don't have a VA, you just have to turn it off and not look at it during that time period. But my VA will go in, take a look while I've got it blocked off for 90 minutes, maybe even longer. And if there's anything urgent, they will let me know. And so there is just another Gmail account that we use that if there's anything urgent, I will get pinged. So that's the only thing. She has access to it, and we talk that way only on urgent matters. How often does that happen? Once a year, twice a year? Usually I can just let her take a look at all the messages that are coming through. Now, the other thing to help you organize your day and just to get a ton done, how much of the time do you spend looking at your emails? So emails is a killer. Not only usually is it on your screen because a lot of people use Gmail or Outlook, it's always in your face, but you always see that little notification. Oh, you've got 1, or you've got 10 emails, or 5 emails, or 100 emails that just came through. What do? You go and check it. Well, this is where my VA comes in extremely handy. They will go in. I've given them access to my email. They color code my email. They create filters for any junk mail. So if junk mail is coming in, they'll either just have it deleted completely, put it into trash, or they create a filter which, let's say that there might be some newsletters that I'm looking for, but I don't need them. She'll put them into create a filter in Gmail, and all it'll say is skip inbox. This is one of the filters, and archive. So all of these go into archive. If I'm looking for them, and you can label it too, by the way. So one of the things that we do for newsletters is that we have this a label that says AMZ updates, or it could say ecom updates. It could say anything. But for newsletters, if I want to go and check them out, I have a folder that automatically archive or skips inbox, auto archives, marked as unread, by the way, so I don't have it's marked as unread, and then it's labeled and it goes into a folder. So if I ever want to check them out, great, I don't lose them. So I just keep the archive. I don't have to delete it because there might be some information there that I might want to take a look at. But the other thing that she does is she goes in, and if there's anything important, urgent, she marks with a red exclamation mark. Okay, and these are all set in Gmail. Then if it's anything that's just important, it's red. If it's regular email that she thinks I should look at, it's yellow. Anything payment-wise, notification that a payment came in, green star. If the payment was made, it's a green exclamation mark. So you can use any colors that you want or any color schemes that you want. If we get notifications from our project management tool, it's orange, and that's only if I need to reply. Then at the end of the day, or at any time during the day, I can take a look, and my inbox is really already pre-screened. Anything urgent I have to look at, and I try to look at my inbox in the morning, 8:30, at noon, and then towards the end of the day. And that could be either at 4 or 5 o'clock. It could be much later on. So this also allows me to keep my inbox clean. So I don't know about you, but going into a messy inbox drives me crazy. So if I see that there's 40,000 messages in my inbox, that have gathered over the year or the month, that makes me go crazy. It's like having your office a total disaster. So it's just so much better coming and walking and sitting down in a seat and looking at, oh, I've got 25 emails that are in my inbox. I just have to clean those out. I just have to respond to those. So on a bad day, I might have 50. And right now, I've been sick for a little while, no big deal. I'm healthy now, but I'm still catching up on a few emails. So right now, as we speak, I have 75. I'll be able to get through those emails and just carry on with life once again. And that's my phone, which I should have turned off. But anyways, let me just turn that off, by the way. Anyways, let's move on to the next thing, automation. So, if you hear me and Tim talking a lot, we love automation. I love working with SOPs, standard operating procedures, policies and procedures. These are things that I put together very easily in Flowster or in process.st. These are, they're easy to do, easy to put together. And as you're doing a task, if you're doing a repetitive task, this is so simple if you get a routine going that as you're going, you're just recording yourself and passing it on to a VA, and then having that VA learn how to do this so they can pass it on to other people within the organization. Another helpful tool that helps tremendously with automation, just getting things done, is Zapier. Zapier is a simple system that connects two apps, or I guess I'll say apps, just communicate with it and provides automated features. It's already set up. You can go in and maybe you want to have items go to QuickBooks or something going from like automatically filing your Gmail. These are all things that can be done, and there's thousands and thousands and thousands of different Zaps that you can look at. All you have to do is go to Zapier, type in Gmail, and you'll see a huge list of different types of automation. Now, another company that's doing a really great job with this is check out Seller Tools, seller.tools. They have a lot of flows that use Zaps, and they're really well known for automation. I'm going to talk a bit more about just functionality and apps that I use on a regular basis. And one, which is I use every day, and I'm on it all the time, and that's my Google Workspace. It's comprised of a bunch of different apps, but Gmail, Drive, it's called Google Drive, Google Calendar, and there's a ton of different other things that are available. You can have your Google My Business or Google Business Profile associated with it, YouTube. There's tons of different modules that are associated, and they all are streamlined together. Now, keep in mind that each one of these items has different apps that can make your job even easier. So let's say that you're working with Slack, which we do. I have multiple Slack accounts. So if I get a Gmail that comes in, there's an app that integrates Gmail and Slack. All I have to do is click on the Gmail, click on the person I want to send it to. It goes over to them in Slack. I can send them a message. Another thing is Boomerang. Boomerang, I don't know, I think it's $30 or $40 a year. It's a little costly, but I can't live without it. I can schedule when to send things. I can schedule reminders. If somebody hasn't responded to me in a few days, I can see that. I can create read receipts. I can send out suggested times that I need to, that I have available. And once they agree to the time, then it'll automatically go into my Google Calendar and mark it off as this person wants to meet with me. Now, talking about Google Calendar is perfect for that, for the person who just wants to kind of, and I would say this sort of a beginner to intermediate level, but advanced with events. Like we do all sorts of events. You have appointment slots. So let's say you're only available for 2 hours, but you have 30-minute slots available. You can keep that open. You can have reminders that each day that you have a reminder that you have to do something. Boom, it might be going to the bank, cashing a check, whatever you want. And then there's a to-do list. So if you do want to create a task list, you can do it within Google Calendar. So it'll mark it as a to-do until you mark it done. It'll carry forward. And also, just the calendar app is fantastic. So you can use all of these within your mobile phones. But the other thing that I like for automation is just a booking link. So if you've got sales calls or if you want to reach out to anybody, we use, I think Tim uses Calendly, and we both use for mutual meetings, Book Like a Boss. Fantastic app, very inexpensive. And this ties right into your Google Calendar. And in fact, it will go into Tim's calendar, it'll go into my calendar, and it'll block it off. But let's go back now to just making things look good. In your Gmails, you want to make sure that you have the right tone in your emails. And using Grammarly is an incredible app, very inexpensive, that keeps the tone of those emails that you're sending proper. If it's just a casual email, or if you want to make it sound more business-like, or if it's just for grammar, spelling, fantastic little app that not only is for your email, but it could also be used for your Word documents, your Google documents, anything that you're sending out. So you look like, well, put it this way. The first thing you'll notice if somebody sends you something with a spelling mistake is the spelling mistake. And how professional is that? Now, both Tim and I, we want to focus. And there's a lot of stuff that's going on here. But if you still get distracted, then you still have an issue, right? When all of this is going on. So we both use a program called Brain FM. And you just throw this, put your headphones on. And if you want to be focused for 90 minutes and cut out all the distractions, like I said earlier, use Brain FM. It'll go for 90 minutes and it'll have you focused. Also, if you travel, it's great for sleep. I definitely use this with wireless headphones when I go into a hotel. Maybe it's a little noisy, and I use that. Okay, so moving on. I want to talk about notes and how do you communicate with notes? How do you share? Well, on Google Drive, you can share easily with people, but let's say you have clipping or you want to go to, you see an interesting website, or it might be a recipe that you might want to cut out or something like that. Well, probably the one that everybody knows is best known in the industry is Evernote. I love Evernote. There's a free version. I don't pay for Evernote. I do pay for it, but I forget what it costs. It's either $79 or $99 for the premium edition, but it allows you to just keep everything in one location, very organized. And if you're looking for anything, just like in Google, you can search it and you'll find it. Now, Google has their own. Now, not a lot of people know this, but it's called Keep. Similar to Evernote, it's just not as complex or as diverse as Evernote. And also, another one that I use just if I have to take short notes or if I'm putting together something quickly, I use Mac Notes, which is, if you don't have a Mac, unfortunately, you won't be able to use it. Okay, moving on to social media. I told you I got a lot of apps to share with you today. Or how do you keep all your social media organized? Well, first of all, you have to get a content calendar. Content calendars are available with most of these apps I'm going to be talking to you about. It also helps you automate and systemize and make things happen very quickly. Some of you who know that I like cigars, I'd go out and I could plan my social media for the week, sometimes for a month, while I have a cigar using Hootsuite. And we had all sorts of different channels there, and we would just plan curated content or some motivational quotes or some questions, all while having a cigar. Not saying go out and have a cigar, but anyways, it didn't take very long. Another social media platform that I love is Post Planner. I think as a team, we're using Buffer right now. Kelsey really likes Buffer. And we also like Social Sprout. Social Sprout's a bit more expensive, but Buffer does the job for us. And then while you're doing all of this, of course, you want to save time and money. We use Canva. Canva has a free version plus a premium version. Now I'm going to move on very quickly to finances. How many of you have a bookkeeper and you've got to download statements and you've got to send over receipts and it's just a pain in the butt? One of the other programs that we use, so helpful, it's called Dext, D-E-X-T. It has thousands of different suppliers in it that you can just, once you set it, every month, if you get a bill, it'll send it over to your bookkeeper. It'll file it for you. It'll upload it to QuickBooks. I think Xero. I use QuickBooks. But anyways, highly recommend it. Check it out. You can get it for free for, I think, for a week to try it out. And lastly, project management. Project management kind of puts everything in order for the day. And that is using Teamwork or ClickUp, or Mondays or Trello or Asana. I would highly recommend using, especially if you've got more than yourself on a team, but even for your to-do list, any of these will work fantastic. So that's it. I don't know if there's any questions. Let me just scan. It does not look like we have any questions in the comment section, but if you do, please post it on Private Label Legion. I'm Norm Farrar, and remember, you can check out privatelabellegion.com or go to our YouTube channel, check it all out. We got tons of content there, always putting out new content, and check out our free Facebook group as well. All right, everybody, we'll see you later.